another parking lot and a road down. So it's like an area which is the main, where people are walking. Mm-hmm. So there's a few blocks with houses, so to speak. And where did we go wrong? No, we went all the other way around now. Because when I went here the other day when it was riots, it was, I have to think, there were police coming in this way, but you can't really drive here because you see they got this stuff stopping cars. Mm-hmm. So they get from that way in, and they were looting the stores here. I think they have repaired most of it, but they were looting, the stores and
it's fast.
Beating people. Huh?
That's fast. They've repaired them already.
Yeah, they do it very quick because they have this theory. If you have an abandoned house and you break one window, it will go very quick and everything will be.
Broken windows theory.
Yeah,
it started in New York.
And a thing that people always is talking about is that when you look at the cafe, you only see guys. You don't see any girls. They are keeping away from the cafes. Yeah, that's one of the which have been a discussion in social media and some. There are some feminists living in these areas, which are immigrants, and they have been, this doesn't work, this is getting, where he's hiding his face, you see?
Yeah, I saw.
We've just been warned by the police that if we don't leave now...
Film him with the police car.
Yeah. The police have just warned us that if we don't leave now and take this escort, it's going to get really bad really fast. They said 50 people could be here in minutes, and they recognize us. They're masking up. We have to leave. What's that? Yeah.
Attacking. So even the police have big problems in this area. You see that the police are still following us because these local guys are following them. Yeah. So you get, and this is the middle of the day.
Yeah.
So it's the middle of the day.
Yeah. Police are following.
The police are following us because we're being followed. The police have warned us that if we don't leave now, things are going to get bad. They said within minutes, 50 people could be here. And lock the doors and let's get the hell out of here.
The car is not. Wait, the car is not starting.
Did they disable your car?
No, it is. But they will wait for us to see that we... Because the police recognized who I was.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I gotta say, man, Malmo was the wrong city to choose. Okay, one more time. We went into Rinkeby thinking nothing would happen. We were talking to the police about what's going on, and they said, yeah, there's more police here. The officer, he told us that, he felt he could do good by being in this community. They didn't want to go on camera because of the politics. So I wanted to just follow up and do a video talking about what happened today because it kind of threw us for a loop, and I'll just sort of pick up where the video just left off. We had no plans to go to Rinkeby. Okay, we had no plans. We were not prepared. We were not planning on doing anything. We had met up with Chang because we had heard he was potentially an interesting or controversial figure, and such in doing any journalism, we're going to reach out to as many people as possible. And Chang showed us lots of footage from in the no-go zones, and so look, if we're going to go into these areas that we're told are dangerous, it's always good to have someone who knows the area. We decided to, we had a few minutes, and we said, why don't we just swing by there and just scope it out and do like a quick walk around. It was not our intention to go there. Our camera is not particularly large. Let me just show you the camera that we use, right? So this is the Canon XF105. It's relatively small, right? So I just want to make sure that I'm getting an accurate view of this camera so you can see what we're working with. So how big my hand is, right? This is me holding the camera, right? We hold it down at our side. I will be totally blunt and say I absolutely acknowledge that, walking around with a camera makes it obvious that, that you're filming, that you're press or something. I don't particularly feel like I don't fit in a lot of areas. I was actually told by several people I probably would be just fine. Emily did her best. She held the camera down at her side for the most part, as you saw in the footage. We tried our best to make sure we weren't filming people. We even saw that there were police in Rinkeby, and we genuinely thought that nothing will happen, just like in Malmo, in Rosengard, nothing will happen, and that we could go into this area and just show, like, here's what it's like. I wanted to talk to some locals and just ask them what life was like, maybe see if they would be willing to do an interview. We saw that the police were there. And so I'm really thinking, okay, look, we're going to walk in, there's people shopping, it's a market center. This is the last place I expect anything to happen. And sure enough, we filmed a couple things, as you saw, and decided to talk to the police. I didn't know if they spoke English, but one of the officers recognized me. I had a pretty good conversation with him. He said, immigrants, they might be, they're overrepresented in crime, these poor areas, they have more crime, but he told me he felt like they could do a lot of good there and that it was, something he liked doing. They told us there was a concert happening later that night, and it was all very interesting. I asked him about no-go zones. Are these real things? Because we hear that they don't exist. And he said, well, there's problem areas that have been referred to where they can't go in unless they have at least 2 units because one cop will watch the other cop. And that's the gist of the conversation. I look over and Cheng and another officer were speaking. They, gave me one of these, like, come over here. And I walked over and, there were several men. They started, they were pulling up masks on their faces. One guy, he throws a hood over his head. And we had noticed this. We started kind of getting, okay, what's happening? The officer said that, hey, have you noticed what people are doing around you? If we leave in a few minutes, it might be very bad for you, so it might be smart for you to, to go. And and then I was like, we should leave. Like, are you saying maybe we should just go to our car? He's like, that's my tip for you, maybe. And I said, okay. And the cop said, look, maybe if we arrest one of these guys, there could be 50 more in a few minutes with stones. And I was like, okay, so we should just go to the car. And he said, yes. And then I said, are you going to follow us out? What are you? And he said, I think that would be a smart idea. And so the police got in the car and they followed us out. And that's what happened. They followed us behind us. As I posted in the 2 videos, we made our way to our vehicle. We left. It was very strange because to me it's almost nothing. But something. I don't know how to explain it. Now I want to address some of the news stories that have come out. If you look in some of the press about the story, I'll say this first. I think that the Swedish press did their best to get an understanding of what happened. They took my side of what I said happened and showed my tweets and got a statement from me, and they took a statement from the police spokespeople. Now, those police spokespeople are denying that they told us to leave and that they gave us an escort. And to that, I'll just say this. First of all, to the journalists, it's kind of difficult to get both sides of the story when you're talking to a spokesperson and not the actual officers involved. That's hearsay. So it's kind of strange to have a third party speaking on the behalf of some other people, someone who wasn't actually there and doesn't actually know what happened. In terms of their statement, well, the police are absolutely in their right to say it was not an escort. When the police say that it would be a smart idea for them to follow us out and to our car because we are being followed and there are several people who are pulling up their masks, I call that an escort. I think many reasonable people do. But look, it is what it is. I don't know what happened or why it happened. I really don't know if there was danger, just that we were advised there was. There's an old saying that, you don't get scared on an airplane unless the flight attendant is getting scared. And so if I go into an area and I see the police looking agitated saying, maybe you should go, then I'm kind of like, okay, these cops probably know what they're talking about. We better get out of here. And I'm asked by many of the journalists, will I go back? And I don't know. Here's my question. We went there. We encountered a tense situation, potentially dangerous, people yelling at us. Would it be irresponsible for us to then go back into this situation knowing what happened? I don't know. So maybe we will because we're journalists and that's our job. Maybe we won't. But I will also say one more thing. The police said that we were filming a group of teenagers. This is according to the spokesperson. We were filming a group of teenagers and that they informed us that some people don't like being filmed without their permission. To that I'll say, look in the footage. We were filming ourselves. We tried our best to not film people because we were trying to avoid a situation like this. But you know what? Forget all that. Because is this normal that you can't go into a center of a neighborhood, a marketplace, and do journalism? Is that normal for Sweden? Are the police saying that it is normal to create a tense, dangerous situation? That when the 60-Minute crew was attacked, when Ami Horowitz says that, when he was attacked, is that normal? Is that okay? Or is this truly a dangerous situation? Let me know what you think. Comment below. It's a very strange situation because, I'm torn. I've certainly been in more dangerous places, but I'm trying to avoid creating this kind of conflict on purpose. We're trying to avoid these kinds of incidents, and there's only so much we can do. So again, comment below. Let me know what you think. What's your advice? Should we go back? Is it irresponsible? Will we just start a scene? Is it just pointless? Or is it an obligation as journalists to actually go in there and get the story? I don't know. I feel like just going in again might just create another issue. Okay, rant over. We've got a ton more content. We're doing a ton of interviews. We're really trying to get at the heart of how people feel about what's going on here. So like the video if you like the video. Likes are very important. Share. Thank you all so much for watching. Seriously, for following us as we go through Sweden and experience what's happening. Make sure to subscribe. Again, I want to say seriously thank you all so much for watching. I will see you all tomorrow.